City of Angels was released in 1996. It was directed by Tim Pope, and this time stars Vincent Perez as a totally new character. And this time, the spirit of the crow resurrects a mechanic who is out for revenge for his murdered son. Okay, The Crow, City of Angels. What are some positives that I have with The Crow, City of Angels? Well, I will say it's better than that 2024 reboot of the first movie that came out earlier this year. I'll say that much. The action is competent and the performances are fine. At least this movie has style. That's it. That is all the positives I have for The Crow, City of Angels, because this movie fucking sucks. God damn it. Okay. This movie's plot is nowhere near as interesting as the first film. I don't care as much about its protagonist, nowhere near as much as I did about the protagonist in the first film. This movie tries to be try to have some emotional weight by having a character go out to seek revenge for the murder of his son, but this movie fails to make me care. And that's an issue. Because this kind of a situation should be relatable, but this movie does a shit job of doing that. And this movie's wicked short. This movie is only an hour and 24 minutes, but the version that I have on DVD is the director's cut, which is an hour and 31 minutes, and this movie feels fucking long. This is shorter than the first film, but it feels a lot longer. God damn. And yes, this movie tries to be visually stylistic, and especially with its action sequences, but it's not interesting in the slightest. Not at all. What the fuck? And the action sequences, while competent, are not exciting. It's not violent enough. It's very generic, especially for the 90s at the time when this movie came out. See, the first film had exciting action, lots of it. And while this movie also has quite a bit of action in it, it fails to be that thrilling, satisfying action that the first movie had. There's not a single point in this movie where I was like, oh fuck, I'm on the edge of my seat here. God damn, this is a blast to watch. That never happens once in this film. And like I said, the performances are fine, but none of the performances in this movie are come close to being legendary, like Brandon Lee's performance in The First Crow. Nothing will ever beat that for The Crow. And yeah, this movie and none of the subsequent movies that came out after this ever tops the first one. But yeah, this movie, it just feels like it's passionless. It feels like, oh shit, we gotta push out a sequel because The Crow was a hit. It's a cult classic, so yeah, pump out those sequels, and it didn't work out. The Crow Wicked Prayer it's not good. It's a if you were a fan of the first film and never saw this one, don't watch it. It's not very good. It's a massive disappointment. I will say this is probably the third worst, because I think, okay, I might review Salvation at some point. Salvation's better than this. But yeah, the 2024 reboot and then Wicked Prayer, the fourth Crow movie, those are worse than this. So there's that. But yeah, don't watch this movie. If you do, prepare for disappointment, because this movie's not worth your time like the first one was. I am going to give The Crow, City of Angels a D.